Remember when Sunday dinner was sacred and nothing, absolutely nothing, could make you miss it? In 1960, families spent 3 hours around the dinner table every Sunday. Today, families barely manage 30 minutes together once a week, if that. But the shocking part isn't just the time. Wait until you hear what else we've lost. Sunday morning, 1960. The smell of pot roast already filled homes across America by 9 a.m. Mothers who'd been up since dawn seasoned the meat, peeled potatoes, and prepared vegetables that would slow cook all morning. This wasn't just dinner. This was the week's anchor, the one meal that brought everyone together no matter what. Church ended at noon, and families headed straight home. No stopping at restaurants, no quick errands. Sunday dinner waited, and you didn't keep Sunday dinner waiting. Children still in their church clothes helped set the table. The good china, real silverware, cloth napkins. Everyone had assigned seats that never changed. The dining room, used only for special occasions and Sundays, opened its doors. By 1 p.m., 3 generations gathered around one table. But here's what made these dinners more than just meals. Attendance wasn't optional. Grandparents, parents, children, unmarried aunts, cousins who lived nearby, everyone came. If you lived within driving distance, you were there. No texting to cancel last minute, no, maybe I'll stop by. You showed up because that's what families did. The meal itself was an event. Pot roast so tender it fell apart, mashed potatoes whipped with real butter, green beans from the garden, rolls made from scratch that morning. Everything served in proper dishes, not containers. Grace was said, often by grandfather. Then came the talking. Real conversation flowed like gravy. Adults discussed the week, politics without screaming, local news, family updates. Children learned by listening, speaking when spoken to but absorbing everything. No phones rang. They were in hallways, not pockets. No televisions blared. They stayed off on Sundays. Just voices, laughter, occasional arguments that got settled before dessert. Wait until you see how long these meals actually lasted. Sunday dinner stretched for hours. The meal itself took an hour minimum. Then came dessert. Homemade pie or cake, never store-bought. Coffee for adults, milk for children. Nobody rushed. After eating, men might move to the living room, but not to watch TV. They talked, maybe napped. Women cleared together, washing dishes by hand while continuing conversations started at the table. Children played outside or sat listening to adult stories. By 4 p.m., someone might suggest a walk. The entire family strolled the neighborhood together. Neighbors on porches waved. Everyone knew where you'd been, at Sunday dinner, of course. These weekly gatherings weren't just about food. They were about connection, tradition, belonging. Recipes passed through generations at these tables. Family stories got told and retold. Children learned their history, their place in the family constellation. Problems got solved over pot roast. Announcements were made, bonds were reinforced, and then something started changing in American family life. Fast forward to 2025. Sunday means youth sports tournaments, work emails, errands crammed into weekends. The idea of a 3-hour family dinner seems impossible, almost absurd. Who has time? Both parents work all week, exhausted by Friday. Saturdays disappear into kids' activities, house maintenance, shopping. Sunday becomes catch-up day for everything that didn't get done. If families eat together at all, it's rushed, distracted, often in shifts. The modern Sunday dinner might happen at 5 p.m. if schedules align. More likely, everyone grabs food when hungry. The dining room became a home office during COVID and stayed that way. Families eat at kitchen islands, in living rooms, in cars between activities. The meal? Often takeout. $60 of Chinese food or pizza, eaten from containers while scrolling phones. Even family dinners aren't really together. Everyone's physically present but mentally elsewhere. The cost comparison alone will shock you. That 1960 Sunday dinner cost about $5 to feed 8 people. Pot roast at 39 cents per pound, potatoes at 10 cents per pound, vegetables from the garden or canned goods at 15 cents each. The entire magnificent spread cost less than what modern families tip the DoorDash driver. Today's Sunday dinner, if it happens, runs $60 to $100 for takeout or $40 in groceries for a smaller family. Meal kit deliveries promise to recreate family dinners. $30 per meal for ingredients you still have to cook. But the real cost isn't financial. It's what's been lost in the transition. Grandparents live states away or in assisted living. Extended family scattered. The nuclear family itself barely intersects. Everyone's schedule is sacred except the family's. Travel sports trump tradition. Work emails matter more than conversation. But here's the heartbreaking part about modern family meals. When families do attempt dinner together, the dynamics have completely shifted. Nobody knows how to just be together anymore. Phones sit on tables like uninvited guests. Notification sounds interrupt constantly. Children who haven't developed conversation skills stare at screens. Parents, exhausted from the week, lack energy to enforce phone-free zones. The meal lasts 20 minutes if they're lucky. Conversation consists of logistics: who needs rides where, what's due tomorrow, schedule confirmations, deep talking, family stories. They've been replaced by group texts that nobody reads carefully. Kids don't know their grandparents' stories because grandparents aren't there. Family recipes die because nobody learned them. Grandma's pot roast becomes a memory nobody can recreate. Children raised on DoorDash don't learn to cook. They learn that food appears when you tap an app. The ritual of preparation has vanished too. In 1960, preparing Sunday dinner was itself a ritual. Children helped shell peas, peel potatoes, set tables. They learned by doing, absorbing kitchen wisdom through repetition. Table setting was an art. Forks here, knives there, napkins folded just so. Children took pride in their contributions. They learned patience watching food cook slowly, anticipation building with the smells. Today, there's nothing to prepare. Food arrives ready. Tables don't get set. People eat standing at counters or slumped on sofas. Children don't learn kitchen skills or table manners. They learn that food is transaction, not transformation. The shared labor that bonded families through preparation has been replaced by arguments over whose turn to order, whose credit card to use. And the conversation? That's changed most of all. Those 1960 dinner conversations built family identity. Stories about grandpa's immigration, grandma's childhood, how parents met, family triumphs and struggles. Children learned who they were through these narratives. Advice passed naturally. How to handle money, work hard, treat others. Values transmitted through stories, not lectures. Today's families, when they do talk, often can't bridge generational divides. Grandparents don't understand grandchildren's digital lives. Parents struggle to connect with kids who live online. Political divisions make certain topics off limits. Instead of building bridges, meals become minefields. Families avoid real conversation to prevent arguments. They discuss safe topics, weather, sports, schedules, while important things go unsaid. The dinner table, once a forum for family democracy, becomes neutral territory where nothing significant happens. So which era got family dinner right? Those 1960 dinners weren't perfect. Women spent entire weekends cooking while men relaxed. Strict gender roles meant unfair labor distribution. Children who didn't conform to family expectations suffered in silence. Some families used dinner to control, criticize, enforce rigid rules. Attendance might be mandatory, but happiness wasn't. Yet within those limitations, something valuable existed: predictable togetherness. Modern families have gained flexibility but lost anchors. They've gained convenience but lost connection. They've gained individual freedom but lost collective identity. The question isn't whether 1960 or 2025 is better. It's what we can learn from both. Here's what some families are discovering. Across America, some families are trying to reclaim Sunday dinner. Not the rigid gender roles or forced attendance, but the principle of protected time together. They're putting phones in baskets, ordering pizza, but eating it at actual tables, sharing highs and lows from the week. They're teaching kids to cook simple meals, not gourmet productions. They're inviting neighbors when family lives far away. They're discovering that 3 hours might be impossible, but 1 hour isn't. That homemade doesn't have to be perfect. That conversation skills can be relearned. That family stories can still be told. Some use video calls to include distant grandparents. Others rotate hosting among households. They're learning that tradition can be adapted without being abandoned. that Sunday dinner isn't about pot roast or place settings. It's about choosing each other over everything else, at least for one meal a week. Because whether it's 1960 or 2025, families need anchors. They need rhythms that say, we belong to each other. They need children to know they're part of something bigger than themselves. They need adults to remember what matters. Maybe it's takeout instead of pot roast. Maybe it's Saturday breakfast instead of Sunday dinner. Maybe it's just turning off phones for 30 minutes. But somewhere in our scheduled, scattered, screen-centered lives, we need to find our way back to the table. Because that's where families become families. That's where stories get told, values get shared, bonds get built. That's where we remember that all the convenience in the world can't replace the simple act of sharing a meal with people who matter. The pot roast might be gone, but the need for connection remains. And maybe, just maybe, that's worth putting down our phones for.